What's up guys, Justin here with the Fusion Essentials. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how you can use parameters in Fusion 360 to create smart objects that adjust without you having to do a bunch of remodeling. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. All right, so we've talked up to this point about adding sketches and then drawing little shapes and things like that. But today, we're going to talk about something a little bit different. We're going to create a bookshelf, but we're going to do it in a way where we're using parameters to dictate things like length and width and number of shelves so that the shelf is automatically going to adjust. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to introduce you to the parameters. And so what we want to do is we want to click on the modify button right here. We want to go to the change parameters function. So when you do that, that's going to give you access to this parameters set right here. And basically what this does is this gives us the ability to set variables inside of Fusion 360. So for example, we're going to create a shelf. So when we create a shelf, what we can do is we can click on our user parameters and we can add a new parameter, and it allows us to dictate something. And consider this like a variable, meaning something that can change in the future. So for example, we want to create a bookshelf. So let's create a parameter that's going to be shelf height. And so what this is going to be is this is going to be the overall height of our shelf. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start off saying that our shelf is going to be 48 inches high. I'm going to click on OK. So we've got this parameter in here that has basically been defined as 48 inches, and it has the name shelf height. Now we're going to do this one more time, and we're going to call it shelf depth. And we'll say that the shelf depth is going to be 18 inches. We're going to hit OK. And now let's jump out of the parameters for a second. And so what we want to do is we can reference the parameters that we've created in here when we're drawing shapes. So for example, let's create a sketch. So I'm going to click in here and I'm going to create a sketch. And we're going to start by creating one of the sides of the shelf. So remember that we can use sketch mode in order to use these different tools to create shapes. Well, in this case, my shelf is going to be a rectangular shape that looks like this. And remember that when you first start your sketch, you've got the ability to dictate your width and your height. Well, in this case, instead of typing in a number, we want to type in the name of the parameter that we've generated. So notice how if I start typing, that's actually going to show up in here. So in this case, this is going to be my shelf depth right here. And so notice what that did is that made this the shelf depth that we've set previously. Well, now I can click over into this other dimension right here, and this is going to be my shelf height. So I can actually just hit the down arrow key and hit the enter key, and notice what that does is that's going to set our shelf to our shelf height right here. Notice how this is bringing in those values that we dictated. Now let's say that we were to go back into our parameters for a second. So we're going to go to modify and we're going to do a change parameter. Well, if you look at this, notice that you can make adjustments. So if you change the shelf depth to 24 inches, notice how this is going to change based on that value that you typed in here. So you can use this in order to set different things about your sketch. Well, now let's say that we wanted to set wood, or let's keep it all uniform. So we'll say shelf thickness. And we're going to say that this is 3/4 of an inch. Or we're going to hit OK. Now that might be a little bit too thick, or it might not, but we're going to go ahead and go with that for right now. And what I want to do is I want to now finish my sketch. And what I want to do is I want to add an extrude function to this object that's going to be a distance. And in this case, the extrude distance is going to be your shelf thickness, like this. So this is extruding this to 3/4 of an inch. Well, this is cool because if you go back into your parameters and you want to make a change, you can adjust this so that it's 5/8 of an inch. Like this. If you click on OK, notice how this changed the thickness to 5/8 of an inch. So you can use this in order to really quickly make those adjustments. But now what we want to do is we want to create another shelf side in here. And so what I want to do is I want to start by creating a parameter for my shelf width. And notice how I'm going to set this as an overall. So this means that the shelf assembly is going to be that width. So I want the overall shelf width to be, we'll say 36 inches for right now. We're going to hit enter and we're good to go. Well, now what we want to do is we want to use the rectangular array function or the rectangular pattern function in order to create a copy of this object. And so I'm just going to activate that tool, select the object, and then select an axis. Well, in this case, I want it to create a copy in the blue direction. So I'm going to click on this blue option right here. And what I want this to do is I want this to create a copy, and I only want it to have one because we're not going to create this shelf as something with multiple vertical shelves right now. We could do that in the future if you're interested. But for now, what I want is I want this to be at the shelf width right here. And we're going to click on OK. And one thing we want to do with this assembly is we want to double check it because I suspect that there's an issue here. So if I inspect this from this side to this side using the ruler, notice how this is too wide. The reason that it's too wide is because it created this rectangular pattern starting from the inside of this face like this. So what it has is it has an extra object width in here. Well, one of the cool things about the way that Fusion 360 works is you can actually click back and forth between the different operations that it did, and you can right click on them and you can actually edit this. So in this case, I don't actually want this to move by shelf width. I want this to move by shelf width minus shelf thickness. And so basically what I did is I created a mathematical equation that lives in here. And this mathematical equation is basically us just saying, okay, our shelf width minus our shelf thickness is going to be how far we want to move this. Well, now if I measure this, you can see that this is 36 inches. And say that I wanted my overall shelf width to be 24 inches. I could come in here and I could adjust that in my parameters like this. So if I measure this, it's still going to do the same thing. It's still going to move this by your shelf width minus your shelf thickness. And this is going to automatically adjust based on the thickness of your shelf walls here too. So let's say we went back to 3/4 of an inch like this, and we hit OK, and we measure this. Notice how it automatically adjusts because of the mathematical function that we built in here. And so now what we want to do is we want to add our internal shelves. And so to do that, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add a sketch like this. And so in this case, I'm going to draw a rectangle that looks like this. And I just want this to have a depth of shelf depth right here. Then I'm going to hit tab, and I'm going to set this, and you actually may want to click on this. So you want this to have a shelf width, and then this one, you want to have a shelf depth, like this. We're going to go ahead, and we're going to click. Now, right now, however, if we were to take this sketch, and we were to exit out of this and extrude it, you're going to have a shelf piece that's actually going to go through your side pieces right here. So what you need to do is you need to split this sketch like this so that you've got a piece in here that's actually just the width that you want. And so the way that this would work is you would just draw a line in here and you would reference shelf thickness like this, and you can click to set the direction, and then you want to draw another line that is going to be shelf depth right here. And again, the cool thing about this is this is going to be this is going to change and adjust based on your formulas, and you can see that because this says fx, meaning that it's referencing a parameter. But then we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to do a line. And in this situation, we want to draw a line that's going to be shelf width minus shelf thickness. and we're going to hit the enter key. And whoops, we want shelf width minus shelf thickness, enter. We're going to hit enter, and that's going to draw a line this way. And notice how if we look at this, this is going all the way to the end. You're going to do a fair amount of just kind of looking at things to make sure that they make sense. In this case, it's actually shelf thickness times 2. Like that. So now you've got that line in here, and then you've got another line that's going to be shelf depth, like this. And so the reason this is important, and we can go ahead and finish this sketch, is now what we've got is we've got a sketch that's the proper width to be the width of our shelf. So what that means is that now if I extrude this up by shelf thickness, like this, and you want to make sure that you set this operation to new body. We're still not worrying about components too much for right now. We're going to go ahead and click on new body. And so what that did is that set up the base of your shelf. Now we could have this up off the ground. I'm not going to worry too much about that for this video because we're trying to keep this pretty simple. But now we've got our first interior shelf. Well, what I want to do is I want to set this up where I can dictate the number of shelves. So I'm going to click on the plus button right here, and I'm going to type in shelf number. So in this case, this isn't going to be inches. You're just going to set this to no units because we just want it to be a simple value. So in this case, I want there to be 3 shelves. So I'm going to click on OK, and we're going to close out of this. And so now all we need to do is we need to set up this rectangular pattern tool so that it creates 3 shelves in here. And in this case, we're gonna assume that this bottom shelf is a shelf, and so we need 2 more in here, and then we need a top piece. So the way that we can do that is we can take the rectangular pattern tool, pick this body, and then pick a vertical axis. So I want this to create a copy in this direction. And in this case, I want this to go all the way to my shelf height. So I'm going to type in shelf height right here. Whoops, typed that in the wrong one. I want that to go here. So I want that to be shelf height, and this one is going to reference the number of shelves. So we're going to type in shelf number right here. Now what that's doing is that's moving this up by the shelf height, and it's setting the number of shelves in here based on this value. Now one thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to do shelf height minus shelf thickness, because right now this is starting from this point right here. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to type this in, we're going to hit OK. And so right now our parameters are a little bit messed up in the sense that it's not actually giving me the right number of shelves. Well, the reason for that is because we didn't set up our formula properly. Because remember that when you were using the rectangular pattern, this needs to create the number of shelves in here, but then it also needs to create an additional shelf at the top to close off our object. So what we can do is we can adjust this rectangular pattern so that our quantity is shelf number plus 1. So that's going to give us our top right here. And so then from here, we can select the object, right click, and we can adjust either the physical material or the appearance. So in this case, I'm going to set my appearance to be a wood, and maybe I'll bring in maybe this like glossy walnut or something like that. But now I've got this 3-dimensional shelf, which is fully adjustable, that looks like a shelf. And I can just come in here and I can adjust number of shelves. I can adjust shelf width. So I can make this narrower. I can adjust the shelf depth if I want to do that. And notice how all of these things are adjusting in real time inside of your space. So you now have a smart object in here that's fully adjustable based on your mathematical expressions. All right, so one thing, I don't always recommend that you do this. Like, this is obviously very handy, but depending on what you're going to do, if you're going to be making a bunch of changes and looking at options, setting things up like this is a good idea. If you're not going to be making those changes and adjustments though, it might be easier to just go through and just model out what you want. It's kind of up to you, but you can use this to create some very complex, very interesting assemblies in Fusion 360. So Leave a comment below. Let me know if you found this interesting, if it's something you might use. I just love having that conversation with you guys. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.